We set off from Cebu on the 21st of July, bound for Banda, Neira, 200 nautical miles, about 30 hours away. The beginning of the trip was spent dodging fads. After a few hours, the autopilot shit itself again. The seas were fierce, and just to keep things interesting, in the middle of the night, the whisker pole launched itself overboard. What a relief to finally see the volcanic Banda Islands. So picturesque. It was here that we attempted our first mid-mooring. Short version, let's just say clear communication between the helm and the crew is essential. Nicely tucked in, I did not hear Steve tell me to lower the anchor fully. So take two, when I lifted the anchor slightly so we could move forward and try and lower it again fully, I managed to collect a thick rope on the anchor, and at the end of that rope was a huge cement block. The mooring for the 3 fishing boats seen in this picture were trailing behind us. Crisis aborted, second attempt was perfect. We finished off the day with some rum and all was forgotten. The Banda Islands are steeped in history. Once the world's only source of nutmeg, then a spice worth more than gold, and today they are recognised as one of the top 5 dive sites in the world. The following day, Abba and his wife, Dilla, the owners of the Silu Bintang estate, had organised a dinner and live music for the rally. This historic hotel represented a luxurious start to our journey through the Spice Islands. From the moment you enter the gates through to reception, which was like walking into a private museum, you were mesmerised. Abba's wife prepared a sumptuous dinner, and Abba got the party going with the live music. Very special. Following day, we took Abba's Spice Island tour. The day started with breakfast at the estate, followed by an amazing traditional drum performance. Then hopped onto a boat to Banda Besar, the largest island in the group. As we walked through the streets lined with brightly coloured houses, you could smell the aroma of the clothes and nutmeg drying in the street. Here we got to see the traditional boat building and enjoyed a lovely cinnamon tea whilst learning about the history of the Spice Islands. That night we had the Banda cultural ceremony at the Malana Hotel. Apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly. Today, the hotel is remembered as a living remnant of the Banda Islands spice trade era and colonial history. Princess Diana stayed here in the 1980s. An amazing event where once again we were treated like royals. The traditional dance by the locals was followed by a lovely dinner and then a live performance from the local band. The next day, whilst fellow sailors climbed to the nearby volcano, Gunung Api, thank you for the pics, guys, Steve set to rebuilding the autopilot once again, making a replacement circlip. Fingers crossed. Our last adventure on the Spice Islands, we boarded a boat to Ao Island, where we had a tour of the village and ancient forts and a lovely morning tea at one of the homestay houses. Such a beautiful outlook. After our morning tea, we went snorkeling, followed by lunch at a beachside warung on Run Island. We were told that in 1667, Run Island was traded by the English to the Dutch for an island in North America called Manhattan, now home to New York City. Seriously. The morning of our departure, we took a walk to Fort Belgica, The construction of this fort started in 1611 and the view from the top was amazing. That morning we had watched a fellow sailor attempt to depart. Their anchor was stuck. They were there for hours, eventually having to get divers to free them. Friends Andy and Klaus borrowed our small Yamaha outboard. Luckily Steve had purchased a spare before we left. They had hit a reef and they could not get replacement parts. Time to depart, and needless to say, the windlass would not lift the anchor. So we slowly motored into the middle of the bay, where Steve then winched the anchor up whilst keeping an eye on the passing cruise liners. We departed Banda on the 27th of July at 4:30 in the afternoon. Our next destination, Ambon, 129 nautical miles, approximately 19 hours away. Thanks for watching.